Hey y'all, this is Tony. You guys don't know me. Kind of new to this. Um, but I've kind of decided to come on here and just kind of blog about different things that hit me during the day and kind of help release some stress, you know. Um, so let's start off with just myself. 20 years old. I live in Florida. Originally from Chicago, raised in Bolingbrook. It's a suburb about 45 minutes from Chicago. I'm actually a pretty interesting person once you get to know me. So as I kind of go into my little story here, I was adopted. Both of my biological parents were drug addicts and couldn't take care of me, so I was put up for adoption when I was 6 weeks old. I was actually adopted by someone in my family. A distant cousin adopted me um, through a series of connections I had through the Child Department of Services, and my aunt worked for them, and kind of just happened that way. So basically, I was adopted into kind of my family, but I didn't really know my parents at all growing up. So life was good for me. Um, Childhood perfectly normal. Had a lot of good friends. I had a lot of things to do, and everything was just perfect, I guess. Um, Life didn't start to hit me till I was about 10 years old. At that point, I noticed my mom had a drinking problem. My foster mom, which is the only mom that I've ever known, so that's who I consider my mother. Um, she had a drinking problem, a very serious drinking problem, and she drank, pretty much every day, and it's just crazy, it kind of affected me and my friends. I couldn't have friends over after school like normal kids, and I couldn't do the things that I really wanted to do, and had a lot of issues when I was younger, like fitting in, kind of finding who I was. I was always distressed because my mom was always drinking and stressing me out at night before school, and it's really weird. And my dad, he was a great man. Um, he tried to protect me from life as much as possible, tried to shelter me, try to, stop my mom from harassing me and my little sister, who was actually their biological kid. She's not my actual sister, but she is my sister. That's the only one that I know. Um, and yeah, it was just really rough growing up. We didn't have much money. We lived in a middle class neighborhood, but we were probably, we were really broke, and my dad was the only one working at the time, so whatever he brought in is all we had, and it just got tough, each month. And I started having some behavior problems, so I kind of had to move from my mom's and dad's to my aunt's house, the one that worked for DCFS that I mentioned earlier, in this recording. Um, so I kind of finished out my school there. I had to actually move there twice because different problems. Um, a funny story is actually one time my mom was driving me and my sister home from somewhere, and she was drinking, and we didn't want to be in the car with her drinking, so me and my sister jumped out of the car, and we were walking home, and I stopped at a store, and I got myself an iced tea, so I was thirsty, and I guess one of my mom's friends called her and told her I was drinking a 40, and when I got home, I started getting yelled at, and of course I yelled back because I knew I was drinking iced tea, and I was on the phone with my dad, who was in the hospital at the time because he was sick and had a heart problem. Um, we were talking. He's trying to calm me down. I heard the door kind of jingling a little bit, and my uncle, who used to live with us throughout my entire life, he lived in his basement, kind of renting it out from us. He bust through the door, and he had like a metal pipe in his hand, and he beat me over the head with this metal pipe over and over, and it was really painful. And I ran down the stairs, and I somehow got out of the house, and my dad was crying. I never heard him cry before, and called the ambulance, and I got an ambulance, had to go to the hospital, police report, all that kind of stuff. So at that point is when I really moved out of the house. That was the last time that I was really living in the house. I was about 17 at the time. Um, so I moved to my aunt's house, and I went to school, started going to church, and things got better. I met my now wife, Lisette, there, and we hit it off from the beginning. She's actually like 11 years older than me. I never really felt like I got along with people my own age because of the fact that I felt like I had been through so much that we had nothing in common. So I yeah, I met her and everything started to get a little bit better for me. My parents and me were getting along better, and I was just finding Jesus, and everything was going great for me until, you know, my father actually passed away. He had a heart attack kind of unexpectedly at work. And he had heart problems, but he wasn't sick by any means. Like, no one knew he was sick. So I found out about that, and I broke down crying, and the usual things when someone dies that's close to you. This is actually the first time I ever lost someone close to me, so it was very, very difficult for me to get through this. At that point, I stopped going to school and I stopped caring about different things, and so I just kind of tapered off, I guess you could say. Um, so I moved back home to my mom's house for a little while, just kind of help out around the house. The kind of needed a man around the house to do like different manly jobs. So I moved there, and then I moved out with my girlfriend, who's not my wife, and we moved out into an apartment about 15 minutes from my mom's house. And I kind of just went through the motions and just got a job, and at a bank, and worked, and went home and drank and partied and kind of did all the normal typical things for a little while. um my wife at that point got pregnant, and if we're gonna be totally honest here, we kind of had an idea she might get pregnant. Like, we weren't using anything, so it wasn't really a big surprise. It's something that kind of wanted. I felt like I was missing so much in my life that I needed this, and so she got pregnant, and we ended up having to move to Florida to my mother-in-law's house because didn't have much money and couldn't afford to live on our own, and things just got difficult. So moved down to Florida where I'm at now, and um my mom has, she had cancer. She's had cancer since I was about 13 years old. So I moved back home from Florida for about 8 months to take care of my mother because she was sick, and I was worried, and I was kind of getting tired of Florida anyway. So I just kind of left. And me and my wife lived separately for a few months, and it was hard on us because we missed each other, and I missed my daughter and things like that. So yeah, I moved back to Florida, eventually. Um, right now I'm kind of just sitting in my living room, just talking to myself. It's kind of weird. Um, Currently, my mother is in a nursing home. She had liver failure, and she isn't able to take care of herself anymore. She drank too much, and she has cancer, so it's kind of making her a little crazy in the head and things like that. She is not happy in the nursing home she's in because it's a state-funded nursing home, so therefore it means they treat you crappy, and you don't get all the nicer things you get in a nursing home. Um, so none of us have much money. I don't have much money now, and my mom doesn't have much money, and no one really has any money to help her. So that's kind of where she's at right now. Right now I'm just kind of just worried about her, because even though all the things that we've been through, I still love her, and she still adopted me and raised me as her son. So I still love her for that. I have a little bit of animosity because of the drinking, but it doesn't overshadow the love that I have. Um, the reason I'm making this is because I want to help someone. I want someone to see. I want I want to communicate to someone who might be in a situation like this at the moment, and I know things look bleak, and times get hard, and it's something get worse before it gets better. So um, just stay strong, and don't give up no matter what. And to everyone listening to this is truly a heartfelt thing, and I'm not making anything up here. This is a true story. I'm a real person, but I'm one of many who go through problems of domestic violence and alcoholism, drug use, things like that. So I just hope that this video reaches someone, and so that they know that there's someone else out there feeling how they feel. And I just want you guys to know that one day everything will be okay. Just keep faith, and keep praying, keep hoping, keep wishing, keep dreaming, because there will be a brighter day. So, tired of talking now. So if you guys like my video, go ahead and subscribe to me. Comments. I leave lots of comments, leave lots of messages for me, so I get some support here. I'm gonna try to do this as much as possible. Um, I'm gonna try to tie it into a couple of other things I'm doing. So hopefully this will be a weekly thing with us, and we can just talk every week about different things like this. You guys can send me suggestions of things to discuss, and I'll discuss them with you. I have a lot of life experience, so I kind of know a lot of things that are going on right now. But yeah, thanks. Bye.